Fidelity Inventory, or TFI, is an assessment on PBIS assessments that provides reports on Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3 levels of PBIS implementation. This video series includes 4 parts: preparation, completion and recording, reviewing and analyzing, and action planning using the TFI. This video will focus on reviewing and analyzing the TFI reports. My name is Celeste Rossetto-Dickey, and I'll be presenting the information in this video. This video will focus on viewing and analyzing the 4 reports that are available in PBIS assessment for the TFI. As you can see, the 4 reports are total score, scale, subscale, and items. The total score provides an implementation percentage for tiers 1, 2, and 3 combined. The scale report breaks out the 3 tiers and shows the implementation percentage separately. The subscale report focuses on features within each tier, and the items report lists the team score for each item. The first step in reports is logging into PBIS assessment. This can be done by a PBIS assessment coordinator or designated user. PBIS assessment coordinators will add team members as users to access the site. I'm going to demonstrate logging in and viewing the reports. The first step as you log in is to look across the top. If you have access to PBIS assessment, it will show on the black bar. Click on that black bar and you will be directed to the dashboard for your school or schools. As you can see across the top, we have surveys, organizations, users, and reports. We also have the open and closed windows here below. You are able to access reports by expanding one of the assessments and choosing the school and reports. However, I find the easiest way is to go up here to Reports, click on Survey Reports, and then begin our choices. The first choice we have is which survey do we want to look at, and today we want to look at this Schoolwide PBIS TFI 2.1, so I'm going to click there. We're going to look at the total report and then begin to drill down. You can choose whatever dates you want. I'm going to leave this as the default. I'm going to pick the organization I want to look at. The organization I want to look at is within Starfleet Test District. So I'm going to click here and I want to look for Sky High School. And now I'm going to generate their total score. So for Sky High School, they have 81% as their total percentage, and this is tiers 1, 2, and 3 combined. This school is implementing all 3 tiers to have a score as good as this. And as we know, 70% or above is the benchmark for the TFI. They are implementing very well, it looks, across all 3 tiers. Many of our schools, when they're starting out with just tiers 1 and tier 2, we expect this percentage to be much lower. And it's wonderful to see over time how this grows as the team implements tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 with more fidelity. The next report we want to look at is scale. The scale report breaks out each tier, so we can see here tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and down below it tells us our percentages: 90% in tier 1, 81% in tier 2, 74% in tier 3. Still above the 70% benchmark, but as we know, there's always room for improvement in PBIS, so we want to look down a little further and see our next report, which is the subscale. The subscale report breaks out each tier by features. So you can see here in tier 1, teams, implementation, evaluation, and you can see the scores here down below. Tier 2, teams, interventions, and evaluation, and we can see our scores here. We notice that the interventions is the lowest here. In tier 3, we have teams, resources, support plan, and evaluation, and we can see here that our resources are at 50%. So as we move into looking at our individual items report, we are most likely going to want to look at the interventions and resources section, but with the items report, we'll be able to view all the scores. So I'm going to click here on items report and generate. The items report will give you the exact scoring that your team entered. It's really important as your team reviews and analyzes this report that you celebrate all the twos. Very important to celebrate the twos with your team, with your staff, with your stakeholders, your families, your community. Then, as the team moves on to action planning, you will look at all the scores that you have 0 or 1 and choose up to 3 that you will work on for action planning. We will be covering action planning in the next video series. Now that you've reviewed all 4 reports, your team now is ready to move to action planning.